Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be going over my top tips and tricks for the brand new First Order Jet Trooper. Now, the First Order Jet Trooper did of course get added to the game with the latest Rise of Skywalker update, alongside the Sith Trooper, the Kafek Spy, and also the Abyssian Gunner. So what I'm going to do is give my best tips for each of these reinforcements, today obviously focusing on the Jet Trooper. Now, if you are brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications, and let me know down in the comments below which of the new reinforcements is your favorite. If you guys didn't see it on my recent video, I am giving away a copy of the Celebration edition of Battlefront 2, so if you want to win that, make sure all your notifications are on, and you have to drop a comment down below letting me know which platform you want to win it on. So with that out of the way guys, let's get into the tips for the First Order Jet Trooper. Now, the first tip is relatively simple. It's going to be the best star cards to use for the First Order Jet Trooper. Now, he does have an extremely low health pool for a reinforcement, so I have absolutely stacked him on health cards with my loadout, which has helped me get a 45 kill streak with the Jet Trooper. This is the gameplay you are watching in the background. I did manage to get 45 kills on takodana, so it obviously works to some degree. So if you guys haven't tested out this star card loadout yet, you absolutely want to do so. The first star card you're going to be using is called Aerial Training, which is basically a health on kill card. And for those new players that aren't familiar with what this is and came to the game after health on kill cards were removed, this pretty much just gives you 50 extra health every time you kill an enemy. So it's really good for survivability and just helps you overall to stay alive for longer. The second star card is called Battle Hardened, which gives you 20% more health when maxed out. Again, another one that's great for survivability and just to keep you going for longer. The third one is called Survivalist, and this card makes your health regen much faster, and I notice a big difference between not having this equipped and actually having this equipped. When you do start to take damage and you duck back into cover, you can get back into the action that much faster because your health is regenerating faster as well. So if you guys haven't tried this star card loadout, definitely give it a go and come back to this video and let me know if it worked for you. The second tip I am going to give is to alternate between hovering and flying. With the addition of the First Order Jet Trooper, we got the addition of the brand new jetpack capabilities. The First Order Jet Trooper's jetpack can alternate between hovering and flying. Now, what is the difference here? Flying, when you hold L1, is just going to propel you up in the air or in the direction you are pointing your joystick, and if you want to hover, you hold the aim down sight button, which is going to keep you steady in the air, which makes for a really good tactic when you're trying to shoot down on enemies. I recommend this really on takodana if you are in the first phase or the final phase. Shooting over the objective or shooting over the castle in the first and third phases respectively is going to get you an absolute ton of kills, which you will see in this gameplay in the background as well. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, pay close attention to the background. I've also found that it makes you much harder to hit when you're alternating between hovering and flying. If you just purely focus on hovering for too long at a time, it gives your enemies way too much opportunity to fire at you, and you are very steady. Now, that may help while you're firing, but it also helps enemies line you up. Keep in mind the Jet Trooper's health is quite low. Even with the star cards stacked up, 2 shots from an NT-242 can wipe you out pretty quickly, and if you have multiple enemies shooting at you as well, this is going to be game over very quick. So you want to make sure you're flying around as well as hovering. It makes you much harder to hit while you're in the air, and again, you can refer to the gameplay in the background for what I'm talking about. The third tip is of course splash damage. Both the primary fire on the blaster for the Jet Trooper and also the R1 ability gives you splash damage. Now, what splash damage does, it makes it impossible for lightsaber heroes to block. You can still cause damage to a lightsaber hero even if they have their block up, which makes you very hard to take on, and with the mobility of the Jet Trooper as well, you can become an absolute pest towards any enemy lightsaber hero. You'll see me take out, I believe it's Rey during this gameplay. She has no idea where I'm shooting her from in the first place, and then when she finally does realize where it's coming from, she puts her block up and I just absolutely melt through it with the splash damage. So it's still extremely effective even against heroes. The next tip I'm going to give you is explosive overheat switching to default blaster. If you are using the R1 ability, there is a tip that I'm going to give you right now which may save your life. The R1 ability does give you that tri-barrel launcher, which can be good when you're shooting at groups of enemies, but you only get 3 shots with it. Here's the thing. When you overheat that blaster, if you miss that cooldown opportunity with the little bar that is towards the end of the cooldown period and you red bar your blaster, this is going to overheat the whole weapon. Instead of waiting for the overheat to cool down before you can fire again, press R1 again or whatever your button is for the right ability and switch back to the primary fire. This is much quicker than waiting for it to not be overheated anymore, and it's definitely going to get you back into action. And if you've almost killed an enemy, it's not going to let them get away because you'll be firing at them much quicker than if you were to wait for the weapon to cool down. Now, moving on to the next tip is not to let your jetpack empty out all the way. What do I mean by this? Well, obviously you can use your jetpack for a certain period of time, and if you're hovering in the air, you can use it for longer than if you were just holding the L1 ability. Now, in saying this though, when you are using it, don't use the whole thing so you're forced to drop out of the sky. Make sure you drop back down to the ground just before it runs out because it will come back much quicker. If you empty it out all the way, you do have to wait for it to come back, and that's going to leave you much more vulnerable if where you do land leaves you into trouble. So if you can get back down on the ground before it actually runs out, this is going to come back quicker, which lets you get back into the action quicker, and it also lets you escape if you land in a position that is not quite safe. On top of this, another reason not to let your jetpack empty out is that when it is completely empty, you can no longer use the jet tackle ability. The jet tackle is the middle ability for the jet trooper, but if you have an empty jetpack, this will not work. So if you plan on landing somewhere with an empty jetpack, and again, there ends up being an enemy there, you have to be very quick to react with your blaster, and if you're not, the jet tackle will not work. I often use this ability to escape from enemies, or if I'm surprised by an enemy, I can get out of there quickly. This will not happen if you have an empty jetpack, so make sure it's not empty all the way, because if it's not, even if you have a little bit left, you can still use that jet tackle ability. Now, getting into the second to last tip, the jetpack actually beeps when it's close to empty. So you guys will notice during your gameplay, when you are getting very close to empty on the jetpack, it will start to beep, and you can hear it if you listen carefully enough, and it also flashes on the back of the first order jet trooper. So this is going to kind of give you a heads up when you're about to run out, so you know when you need to drop down out of the sky. This also gives you a lot of help with the last tip that I gave you, because you're pretty much not going to run out if you know it's coming up, and you can get down to recharge it before it actually goes to empty. And finally, the last tip I'm going to give you guys for this video, and I think it's a pretty big one, and it's one that I often recommend to anyone that asks me about the jet trooper: use the primary fire over the tri-barrel launcher. Yes, the tri-barrel launcher can be effective if you're taking on groups, but I've found the primary fire for the first order jet trooper is way more successful when taking on enemies. It has a faster fire rate, you can fire for longer, and you can also do way more damage per second to multiple enemies than you can if you're using that tri-barrel launcher. I've done 550 damage with one use of the jetpack and killed 5 enemies with the primary fire. I cannot say that I have ever done that using the tri-barrel launcher, and I have been playing the jet trooper a lot since it came out. It is of course a lot of fun, so make sure you guys pay attention to what I'm doing in the background as well, because this gameplay was my best streak with the jet trooper, and I definitely recommend using him on takodana if you haven't already. This is definitely the best map for him, and I will recommend it every time over any other map. So guys, that is everything I have for this video. I hope the tips helped you out. It really did kind of take me a little while to figure all of this out, but it's definitely been successful in getting me this large kill streak. So if you guys are looking to improve with the first order jet trooper, make sure you take into consideration the tips that I've just given you and jump back into the Battlefront and give it a go. Make sure to come back on the video later on and let me know if any of these tips actually helped you and if you found this video useful, because I love knowing that my videos are helping new players out there, or even experienced players that just want a little bit of extra guidance. Anyways guys, I am going to get out of here now. Thank you so much for the huge support lately. As always, I will see you in the next video, and may the force be with you always.
The Sith are all powerful. You are no match for me.